Hello, everybody. Welcome one, welcome all, and welcome back to the Believe in Our State podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Carter.
And I'm your host, Cody Vanciello.
Cody, we are back. It's the bye week, and tonight on tonight's show, we were supposed to have a mailbag episode. Unfortunately, nobody really brought in any questions. So if you guys have any questions during the live stream, just pop on in and ask us some questions. But uh, since this is going to be a more basketball centric episode, we're going to talk a lot about basketball, break down the schedule a little bit, and then just talk about the roster. But as we always do, we are going to take a look at the Big 12 and national slate, and we're going to look at tomorrow's games and tonight's games. So I'm going to share my screen, and then we can talk about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, while you bring that up, yesterday, obviously moved the show to today instead of yesterday because I did go to Iowa State volleyball last night, and they got the 4-set win over West Virginia. So they are now, I believe, 5-1 in conference, somewhere around there. But I'm going to assume with us only playing one volleyball match, we should be around, if not inside the top 25 when next week's volleyball rankings come out. So the Lady Cyclones just continue to win on the volleyball court, and I'm hoping this gives a really good push, possibly to the upper echelon of the Big 12.
All right. Well, congratulations, Lady Cyclones. But we're gonna look at tonight's slate specifically. Today we have Louisville on the road at Miami, and then number 25 Nebraska, who's I think been ranked for like the first time in years. I think since like 2016. Um, they're going on the road to Minneapolis to play Minnesota. San Jose State is on the road in Logan to play Utah State, and North Carolina goes across from coast to coast and plays a 9:30 game at Cal.
Yep. I'm definitely staying up to one. I'm going to be like, this is going to be a good like Friday night because obviously Miami, they want to continue being, they want to continue to be in the race for the ACC title alongside Georgia Tech. And I believe there's a few other undefeated teams I can't think of right now. But yeah, the race for the ACC is pretty interesting. I think Florida State, safe to say, has dropped out of the race with their losses in conference. So right now, the race is primarily Miami and Georgia Tech with a few other contenders, but those two are the main contenders in the ACC. But Louisville is going to give Miami some trouble.
Definitely. It's going to be a good game to watch. It starts in 2 minutes. So if you have cable or stream, go turn to ESPN right now, and then an hour from now, you can watch Nebraska, Minnesota, watching Big Ten football. But we did talk about this in Monday's show, but we're going to look at the 11. They go by each time slot, but the 11 a.m. slate is actually going to be pretty entertaining. Um, I'm gonna change this just to the NCAA because, like, if you just look at the FBS in general, there are a lot of good matchups.
Yep.
So we have to start off the day. We have LSU Vanderbilt in Nashville, a ranked versus ranked matchup. Number 10 versus number 17. We have Georgia Tech going on the road to Wallace Wade Stadium in Durham to play Duke. And then we have a few good Big 12 games. 3 Big 12 games, actually. We have Arizona on the road at Houston. We have the Revivalry. And I believe we also have I thought.
Yeah, it's right there. West Virginia, direction of Florida.
Yeah, direction of Florida on TNT. Jeez.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I mean, the Big 12 is trying to expand the TNT. Yeah, this is one way to do it. So, yeah, at 11 to noon slate, I definitely, if you're watching the Big 12 primarily, I would definitely focus on Arizona, Houston, and the Revivery.
Yeah, because honestly, whoever loses the Revivalry game is going to be basically looking at them, thinking that to themselves what should have been and what could have been. Because just TCU has been dropping these games. Baylor, was a darling to win this conference at the beginning of the year, and now they're looking if they drop another one, man, it's going to be trouble for Dave for Dave Aranda once again.
Yep. Just a roller coaster. One week he looks like the world beater. The next, he's on the hot seat. So yeah, you don't know which version of Iran you're gonna get.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, and then we go down. Isn't the Sunflower Showdown this week too?
I think it might be late. I think it's either this week or next week.
Oh, okay. It
I
might
think
be
I think
next week
K State
then.
might be on a bye. Um,
Okay.
all right.
Yeah, you're right. K
Because
State, I think, is on a bye.
okay, yep. So while we take a look at the 2:30 slate, the biggest game we can look at is the game down in Athens between number 5 Ole Miss and number 9 Georgia. You also can sprinkle in number 3 Indiana hosting Michigan State. Indiana is looking to continue their another historic run, and I mean their head coach Kirk Cinetti, who had been listed as among the candidates to be the next head coach at Penn State, just signed earlier this week an extension to stay with the Hoosiers. So doesn't sound like Kirk Cinetti's going anywhere anytime soon. And Ohio State is going to be walking into a what I'd assume would be a pretty sad Camp Randall. The fact that Ohio State's only a 25 and a half point favorite says I don't know what that says. What?
Well, yeah, it says that Ohio State's 20, a 25.5 point favorite, and the line is at 41.5. So I'm guessing that they believe that Ohio State's probably going to win this game like 35-6 or something like that, or 30, something like that,
Listen, if Iowa was able to shut out Wisconsin, what do you think Ohio State's going to do?
putting up 50
And shut them out.
and shut them out. Yeah, it's dark days for Wisconsin. And then for the Indiana game, and the line for that is 27.5. And I mean, dare I say that Indiana covers in this one because I mean, if you go on the road and win at Oregon by 10, there's no reason why I don't think Indiana could definitely cover the spread against Michigan State.
Yeah. And I mean, Michigan State, they just come off a loss at home against UCLA. And I mean, they got dominated in that game. But it looks like maybe UCLA has found some of their footing. So to think a couple weeks ago, UCLA was a dead program in the water. And now they've struck 2 straight wins, including a one over a much fledgling Penn State and Michigan State. Yeah. I, I think, yeah, Indiana is going to, they're going to be right there with Ohio State. And I believe they play each other this year. I mean, they played
And
against each other last year.
in
They,
Indiana, Ohio State,
yeah, do they play against each other this year?
they don't play each other this year unless they play in the Big Ten championship game.
And that could be a
Indiana,
real possibility.
yeah,
Indiana, Ohio State in the Big Ten title game. I'm looking
and
up for
that's
that.
all right, and that's probably going to be between who is the number one overall seed and probably in the playoff. So,
Hmm.
which is absolutely crazy to think about.
Hmm.
Um, and then we have a few big group of five matchups. We have undefeated UNLV going to Boise to play on the blue turf, and then we also have I just had Old Dominion going on the road to James Madison. All these four teams are looking maybe to be that team to possibly go and get that playoff spot in the playoff.
Hmm. And maybe North Texas can rebound after their loss to South Florida when they host UTSA.
Yeah, and then Texas matchup. So that should be interesting to see how they respond. And yeah, we have a Big 12 game that we have to talk about at 3 o'clock because of the definite things that have been happening on Twitter. This all happened last week after the KU game, where apparently Lance Leipold was complaining after the game in Lubbock that with the throwing of tortillas, but a pocket knife, or apparently a KU reporter saying that there was a pocket knife that got thrown in with tortillas and batteries thrown as well. And as a result of that, Brett Yormark did wanted to have none of it, and he decided to fine both teams $25,000. And as a result of that, and I don't know if it's just been over the week or just today, but now Texas Tech fans want to leave the Big 12 and go to the SEC, which is
Uh,
just it's absolute nonsense. because like now they're saying that this is a poverty conference, but in my mind, it's like, how is it a poverty conference when you've never won this so-called poverty conference?
I mean, the thing with Tech is like you finally got a big money. You've got the big money now. You can actually compete with the big boys. But now all of a sudden you want to like go right in there with the big boys, and it's funny they talk all this like yeah, it's been over the week, and I think in the context of this, in case you haven't seen, this comes off Texas Tech, the AD announcing that the first throwing of tortillas will receive a warning, and then these and in any occurrences after that will result not only a 15-yard penalty on Texas Tech, but also a $100,000 fine. That got announced by their AD earlier this week. So yeah, I think it's actually it might have actually been today. Yeah, wait, no, it was yesterday. It was yesterday at around 5:30. Yeah,
Ah,
that's when
gotcha,
the
gotcha.
over.
Yeah,
Yep. Yeah, and just seeing people like, or people talking about like, oh, Texas Tech, like, or Kansas people were crying about it, that were reacting to it and whatnot. So a lot of nonsense has gone on in the last 24 hours, coming out of this game. Um, my thought, like, it's like, I don't know, like, I didn't really pay attention to it because I wasn't on reading Twitter over the last 24 hours. But from my perspective, I get why, but really, we're being this paranoid about it. Like, did we even confirm it was true? Like, was it even confirmed that there was a pocket knife thrown?
I don't even think that there was. There wasn't even confirmed.
Yeah, because if it was confirmed, then I'd say, okay, whatever. But the fact that it hasn't even been confirmed, and just tortillas are like one of the harmless, like, it's such a harmless thing to throw. I'll be honest. But to Texas Tech saying they should join the SEC, what does Texas Tech bring that they don't already have with Texas? Texas is
Yeah,
they already, and plus that's gonna, and I don't think Texas wants to really have Tech in the conference as well because that's gonna mess up with their recruiting and et cetera, et cetera. So do you really want to try to mess with the Longhorns?
another Texas team that has money with A&M.
Oh yeah, and in addition to that, A&M, yeah. Um, you want to try conflicting with their recruiting grounds? I highly doubt it.
Yeah, then Texas fans and OU fans are like, yeah, well, you guys aren't even our rivals. We don't even. I was like, dang. I'm like, that's crazy when they don't even acknowledge you as rivals, which is nuts.
Yeah, when you unite Texas and Oklahoma fans to something common, that you had to have done something. I've even seen people say that all of a sudden the conference hates Texas Tech.
Well, it's
There's
just like because it's the way that they're acting is like Utah. So
oh
like
god,
they were an arm lock with you. I saw some people were in arm lock
yep.
with Utah earlier. I'm like, yeah, okay. I was like, okay, y'all can do that, but just know now that y'all are acting like this, I really hope that you guys lose tomorrow. But
Mhm. Yeah, I also saw like, and listen, they're acting like this whole tortilla thing is like in the same realm as like they're whining about it as if they threw like mustard bottles or water bottles and beer cans like you see in Tennessee and Texas. How ironic. We're talking about throwing things. I brought up two great examples of the bottles being thrown in the game against Georgia at DKR, and then you got the infamous mustard bottles from the Volunteers. What I don't remember which game was that when Tennessee threw all the mustard bottles.
man, who were they playing? Was it was it wait not was it Ole Miss?
Let me see.
It was either Ole Miss or like it
Yeah,
was
2021.
somebody.
Yeah, it was Ole Miss.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's what I
Tennessee
thought.
was. Yeah, viral. Yeah, $250,000 fine, and an endorsement deal between Tennessee and the French mustard brand. The endorsement deal I did not get, but that is funny.
I love it.
Yeah.
Um, and then we just have a few maybe letdowns. Oregon, going coast to coast. They're 17.5 point favorite on the road against Rutgers, but
Mm.
this could be a tough game for them. Just the fact that they're traveling three time zones.
Yep. and
A
and then they'll respond after losing to Indiana. So
yeah,
how does Dan Lanning gather the troops after losing their first Big Ten regular, like their first like Big Ten regular season game?
and then yes, exactly, and Virginia has a tricky game after Washington State was upset minded last week in at Ole Miss, where they almost knocked off Ole Miss and lost 24-21. So that one should be an interesting matchup.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then you got Texas traveling at Kentucky. Texas 13.5 point favorite. Texas coming off what was Arch Manning's best performance this year against the Oklahoma Sooners. And I think the Oklahoma Sooners, they were probably like they were a really good defense in that game. And Arch Manning made them look like made them look like a JV squad with the way he was able to run and pass. So it looks like Arch Manning might get some of the confidence back. He may not have the same hype as he did coming into the season, but he's at least got some confidence back. And I think he gave the coaching staff trust that he can still be a good leader for this Longhorn squad.
Yeah, definitely. And then if you've seen the over under has gone up in this game. Iowa's now a 3.5 point favorite, and the over under is now up to 40.5. So, which means I think they believe that after which Iowa's offensive performance last week that they can score. So
Yeah.
that one will be interesting, even though I'm probably not really going to watch that one.
I
But
the
oh
hate
yeah, have
the,
you decided if you're
the
going to that or not?
no, I don't think with what I've got to do like here in Des Moines, I don't plan I couldn't find tickets, so I don't plan to go. So yeah. But
Okay,
I'll get to sit and hate watch comfortably from my living room.
gotcha.
Yeah. Anyways, keeping it in the Big Ten, UCLA winners of two straight, host Maryland, and maybe UCLA can string off some wins and maybe I don't know, dare I say, go to a bowl game. Hot
Hey,
take.
I mean, it would be a nice rebound after starting what was it 0-4?
Yeah, 0-4, firing your head coach, and it looks like Nico Yamaliava is finding his footing in Beverly Hills. So looks like they're finally starting to get some return on that investment, paying Nico. And we just talked about Nico, and we just talked about Tennessee. We've got the third Saturday in October as the number 11th ranked Tennessee Volunteers travels to Tuscaloosa to take on number 6 Alabama. This one should be another really fun game. This one should be fun.
Yeah, this is a 6:30 game with Kirk and Chris, so that's going to
Yep.
be a nice call. And then at the same time on NBC, we have USC going to South Bend, Indiana to play Notre Dame.
Yep. So, rekindle rivalry. It looks like it's got some steam again after a few down years for the for Southern California. Lincoln Riley and Jordan Maava have revitalized USC, and this one could be really fun. And we also, at the same time, we talked about the American race. Number 19, South Florida hosts Florida Atlantic, so South Florida is trying to keep up the winning in the American and still be in the race to be that group of 6 team. And then we go to 7 o'clock. This is the big game in the Big 12. We've got the holy war between the number 23 ranked Utes of Utah and the number 15 BYU Cougars on Fox.
That one is going to be great. I'm going to be tuned in and locked in for that one. If you are one of the types that believe that Iowa State still has a chance, like I do, you got to cheer for BYU in this game because if Utah wins this game, there is really not a mathematical way that Iowa State can make it to the Big 12 title game. So we need BYU to win. Also, if you go look back up and look at the Florida line, South Florida, the game, the over under in that game is 72.5, which is hot, extremely high. I'm like, good lord. Do they think like South Florida is going to win like 55-20?
I mean, they put it on to North Texas in that third quarter, so
That's
they
fair.
must
I
believe
mean,
that
right.
performance is indicative of what could South Florida do and what Alex Golesh can do.
That's true. And then just notable at 9:30 ACC after dark, we have Stanford hosting Florida State.
Oh man, Florida State, what has happened to them? Started out 3-0 with
Oh,
the big win over Alabama, and now they've dropped 3 straight to go 3-3.
yeah.
Oh God. Shades of 2024 all over again. It just got delayed.
Yeah, it's about to get ugly. So that is the college football slate for you. So now we are going to be talking about basketball. Cody, if you could share your screen and maybe put up the schedule and or maybe the roster so we can break that down.
Yeah. Yep. And we've talked a lot about like obviously with basketball, the men's teams like tonight they've got the scrimmage against Creighton. So what I guess while we're bringing up the roster, what's the most interesting thing that you have when you're thinking about when it comes to the scrimmage?
So for me, like I think one of the big things that I think the real question is like are the young guys going to be ready to play at the college level? I'm really excited to see what Killian Torre can do, and then
Jamarian Bateman, those
Marion
are
Bateman.
what he does
So
like coming
like
off.
yeah,
Those are the two guys that like I think a lot of people are and I would like in the Iowa State camp are talking about. They could make big impacts are Bateman and Torre. So I'm going to expect Torre obviously starting and then Bateman probably get significant minutes. And we did hear from TJ Outsberger yesterday that his starting lineup consisted of Torre, Nate Heise, Mila Momcilovic, Joshua Jefferson, and Blake Buchanan. So that's going to be the lineup. And I'm guessing he may experiment with a few other lineups, but that's the starter set he has for tonight.
it's going to be interesting to see, especially once we get into this tournament. That's why I'm really going to see what the lineups are going to look like once we get to this Vegas tournament.
Mhm.
I will also say I'm also excited to see what Milan's new role will be because if it's gonna be like what TJ was talking about during media days, man, I am really excited because I think this is something that we were talking about in our reflection episode. Is we wanting Milan to be a more aggressive player.
hmm Yeah, and I think Milan, like I think it was mentioned that TJ wants Milan to be more aggressive in hunting and looking for a shot. Obviously, you still want to be smart with it, but he wants Milan to go out and look for a shot more, maybe to get up like 8, 9, or even 10 threes a game. Because if Milan's able to hit, I mean, what, at least 40% of those, that's 12 points right there at the
Right.
least. If you're going 40%, like, and that's going to be huge because that's going to be where I think a lot of people are going to be looking at for Iowa State to make that next step from good to like good, like and maybe great to elite. It's going to have to be
Yes.
the develop. Mila Montella is taking that next step, and I think we're going to see that. But I mean, we take a look at the roster here. Obviously, you got Nate Heise, Demarion Bateman, Mason Williams. Mason Williams does come in, but I think he's going to be out for the year because of surgery to his hip over the offseason. So, and Tame Lipsy, he'll be out presumably until the start of the regular season. But I don't expect Tame Lipsy to be playing too much in the non-con. I think we're going to see a lot more Torrey Bateman in the guard position. That way you can keep Taman healthy for Vegas, Purdue, and Iowa. Those are probably the games you're going to look for. Eric Mulder out of Oskaloosa coming in. He transferred in, so curious to see where he's going to fit in. Joshua Jefferson, I think this his story. This is going to be the biggest thing. I'm curious to see how Joshua Jefferson levels up his game.
I think one of the other things that I remember hearing is that the two-man game between him and Milan Manchilowicz, that's something that developed near the end of the season. And that's something that like for me that I'm really excited to see is the two-man game between them and them developing that chemistry.
Yeah, and I mean, if you can get Milan to shoot consistently, it's going to be a matchup nightmare for anybody having to guard Jefferson and Malchilovic while they're both on the floor because it's going to be a pick your poison type of scenario where if you try to press Joshua Jefferson, he could possibly kick it out to Milan or somebody else on the perimeter, and if they knock down a shot, and then if you try to take away the three ball, you know, have Joshua Jefferson just dominating the paint using his size and his strength because he's put on some muscle over the offseason. I think his body's leaned out to put more muscle on, so I think he's going to be more physical in the paint.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see what he does. And then for you, for Dominic Nelson, oh actually no, let's go to Dominicus Plata because I want to see how he does coming in. I think that he might be the biggest wild card on this team.
Yeah, I think if you can like yeah, with Dominic Espleta, I mean, he's got pro experience and as a freshman playing in Germany. So I'm really curious to see what he can what he does. And I think if he can really provide great minutes, presumably off the bench, like outside of we need like a good post presence. And I think Dominic's played it, and also get like some offensive rebounds, get some and get those defensive rebounds. So if Dominic gets played, can do that. I think we'll be in a good spot because one of the things that TJ Altsberger led teams are known for is their physicality on
Right.
defense and on the offensive end. So if we can get that and get more offensive rebounds, that can give us second chance points, and those can be crucial. So I'm hoping to see that. And just overall, and who knows, maybe Dominic Plater can catch a body. That call me crazy. I want him to catch at least a few bodies this year.
That would be nice. I want to see some posterizations.
Yep. Yep, we did mention him. Blake Buchanan. Sounds like from the offseason, what TJ has talked about. Sounds like Blake Buchanan has come on pretty well. He's gelled on and he's committed to this team, committed to the defensive end of everything, committed to the physicality. So it's nice to see. And then Xavier Mitchell. I think he's a guy to look out for in the future. He may not get as many minutes, and that comes down to consistency, but he comes from Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Well, knowing Iowa State's history and getting guys from Wisconsin, I think could be something great for his future. But if he can get more consistent in practice, in those daily habits that TJ preaches, I think we could see some minutes out of Xavier Mitchell.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. One of the things I believe that's Tyrese's old high school. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
hometown Oshkosh North.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I want to
believe
say
so.
that
Yeah,
that's it.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
before we go, let's take a look at the schedule and break that down.
Yep. The schedule. I mean, I did see they announced the time, so I'm gonna go find that. Let me go find the.
Okay.
Uh, yep, yeah. If you see my screen, yeah, it's still talking about Texas Tech. But anyways, I digress. Oh yeah, didn't even mention Taylor Lissy earning all Big 12 preseason acknowledgments, so that's good. So that's pretty good to see, even though he's not going to be playing. But yeah, shows the respect that he has. And I also think Taman Lipsey was listed as he's on the preseason Big 12 team as well. I think he's the only Cyclone
Mm,
on there, which is kind of surprising. But anyways, what we're here for is the TV schedule. Look at that beauty.
mm, very very nice.
Yeah, one thing I noticed is I think all of our conference games, none of our conference games are on ESPN Plus, and that is huge.
It's huge, man. Oh, my
Yeah,
goodness, that's gonna be great.
yeah. So obviously talking about yeah, you got the Vegas tournament going to be on True TV, ESPNU for the game against Mississippi State. Purdue is going to be on CBS. That is going to be fun. But also, if, like we said, somehow, some way, Iowa State makes the Big 12 title game, it's going to be really conflict because considering those games are going at the same time. We got Iowa on primetime television on FS1. Then we got a couple games on Peacock. At Baylor and at Cincinnati is going to be on Peacock. And also at
Mm,
Oklahoma State. Uh, Obviously, we've got Kansas State. We're going to be on Big Fox at 1 o'clock local time. And then the two the most important games that we have is definitely the hosting Kansas and hosting Houston, considering that's going to be prime television and also at Arizona. And we're also on CBS for Texas Tech, which is nice.
yes, and I also saw, I believe, that BYU start is gonna be at 9:30.
Oh God.
So yeah, I will be in the bed. So whenever we do the breakdown for that one, I will be sleeping. So I'll just have to look
Let me
at the
see.
highlights.
Wait a minute. Let me see. Wait. Oh, it's on Saturday.
Oh,
Yeah. Huh.
okay,
Well, there. So okay, that's fine.
okay. Never
Yeah,
mind then.
it's a Big 12 after dark. I'm okay
That's
with it.
I'm okay. Yeah.
We good. All right. And then, yeah, at Arizona, 8 p.m. ESPN. And then, yeah, senior night, senior day gets Arizona State on FS1. So, yeah, the TV schedule. You might have to, hopefully, your cable provider has all these. If not, you might have to fork some money. So,
Yep. So you're gonna have to probably fork some money up. I guess
Yeah, I
before.
believe
Oh,
YouTube
go ahead.
TV
Go ahead,
should have
Cody.
all of these. I believe all YouTube TV should have all of these.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so if you can fork up YouTube TV, then I think you'll be okay. But you probably have to get the external for Peacock. But I digress.
Right. Yeah, get the extra for Peacock. But for you, Cody, I guess like, and we'll do this like probably in a few weeks once the basketball season actually starts, and we do like a basketball extravaganza like we did last year. But like, I guess what are you looking for from this basketball team this year?
Um, for sure, I think number one is for us to stay healthy. That was the big thing that
Yeah.
limited our ability when Milan went out. I think that messed up the chemistry, like that messed up the team chemistry and changed what we could do. And I think the pressure on a lot of guys, they felt like they had to do a lot more to make up to compensate for the lack of Milan Vucevic, and that led to us doing more than we needed to do, and that led to loss it. Like that led to us not playing as well as we normally would. And then even getting Milan back, you then had to deal with Keyshawn and Cujo being out for stretches of the time. So the number one thing is injuries. And I mean, we talk about injuries, Tame Melissa being injured right now. I think it's better to get it out of the way. Like it's better to have it happen here because that way you can get an opportunity to see the freshmen and their opportunity. And then yeah, that goes to my second point. The freshmen, we need to see more out of the freshmen because last year we didn't really see much out of Noyce and Drusitis. And I think we expected him to do to make an impact coming into the season, but he didn't. So hopefully we can get some like consistent production out of the freshmen, especially Torrey Bateman. Those are the two to really look out for. And then Nate Heisey. I mean, he started the season not shooting well, and then towards the end, he really caught his stride. He was able to shoot the three ball well. So if he could carry over that shooting and complement that with the production with consistent production from Taman Lissy, Amula Mochilovic, and Joshua Jefferson, I think that could be really helpful. And we know what he brings defensively, so he'll have that going well for him. And just, I think for Iowa State, just continue to be dominant defensively, get those points in transition, and then make smart, and then really win every possession, as T.J. Alsberger likes to say. So, but I'm really excited for basketball season. Like I'm so ready for it. I just want to get back in home Coliseum. I just want to just sit in freezing weather while eating a clone cone in Hilton and sitting inside a tent for multiple days while waiting for basketball.
I love it. I love it. I'm still not in it yet. It usually takes me until like after the Super Bowl's over to get into basketball. So I mean, I will. I'll still be in it, but I won't. My heart ain't gonna be fully in it until football's over, officially.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So I mean, obviously that. Do you have like anything else that you want to add, or anything you want to talk about randomly since it's the bye week? Like
Uh,
anything been going on in your life personally that you want to update
uh,
everybody about?
not honestly, not really. I mean, I'm just like I'm getting through midterms. It's midterm season, so
Oh
everybody's doing
yeah.
something crazy. So yeah, that's not the most fun thing to do, but we're getting through it. And actually, yeah, so that's pretty much it. But I mean, we talked about basketball. The women's basketball team, their media day was yesterday. We didn't even get to talk about that, but we could talk about them for a bit because
Yeah.
I am excited for this women's basketball team. I'm excited to see what Jada Williams will do because she said because when she was talking to the press yesterday, she mentions that she can be a scorer at all three levels, and I think we kind of need
Oh
that kind of
wow.
person who score at all three levels and make plays to really help out the offense because last year we saw the struggles with inconsistencies. So, and kind of at times being limited offensively and only being able to really get offense out of by feeding Audie Crooks in the paint. So, if we can get somebody like Jada Williams to open up the game a little more and get like more consistent shooting from the perimeter, I think this women's team could be in a better spot than we were last year. Obviously, they were ranked higher to start the year, but inconsistencies in play and injuries kind of hampered their season, so they didn't really meet expectations. And I think this year, I think they're going to learn from it. And I think basketball in Iowa State basketball, both men's and women's, are going to be very entertaining to watch this year.
So it should be a very, very entertaining winter in Ames
Mhm,
at Hilton Coliseum. So
for sure.
make sure to tune in if you already aren't. make sure to tune in 30 minutes if you're a basketball sicko. I believe the stream for on Creighton, I think it's $7.99. They said.
I think they start at 7:30. Maybe I'm
Oh, at
wrong.
7:30. Okay.
It's either
Yeah.
an
So
hour or it's either half an hour or an hour. So just check into that. And
yeah,
uh,
but yeah. Man, nothing else. Nothing really going on in my life. Just working. I'll be
yep.
watching ball tomorrow. So uh,
Stress-free football. It's
stress
nice.
free football is the best, dude. Oh yes, man. And I can't wait to be back at Jack Trice. Hopefully, um, we win next week. Because
Mhm.
we need it. We need it in the worst way. This team needs it in the worst way.
Yep.
Because right, I mean, honestly, Cody, right now, I'm just looking at it because I'm not even expecting anything to make it to back to Arlington. I'm just looking at it as if we finish, let's say we win 4 out of 5, finish 4-1, finish 9-3, still got a chance to get consecutive uh 10-win seasons if we win the bowl game. So I mean that and to do that for the first time in Iowa State history, and then to just and do win 10 games in back to back years would be an absolutely amazing accomplishment for this football program.
Hmm.
All right. Uh, we are going to close today's show. A big thank you to FanDuel. Make sure to gamble responsibly if you are going to put money into the sports books this weekend. There's going to be tons of probably college football tokens and NFL tokens and just tokens for everything. Since we're almost coming up on the sports equinox, we've got NLCSs. Also, make sure to troll Milwaukee fans and download that picture of them holding the L flag. So if they get swept by the Dodgers, make sure to save that picture and then quote tweet the Brewers uh, Twitter page. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. Right now, the ALCS. Yeah, Seattle has a. Yeah, they still have the 1-0 lead. This is top of the fifth with 2 outs. So yeah, and with football, Miami's driving, but they're down 14-0 right now against Louisville. So
already what?
yeah. So if you're not tuned into that, you got tune in right now. Yeah, Miller Moss is 6 of 7 for 69 yards and a passing touchdown. How about that for a stat line?
That's a very nice stat line right there.
Hmm.
Wow, wow, six. Oh my gosh. Oh,
You
you
just
know what?
realized.
No, 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 no. All right, that's crazy. All right, make sure to find us on social media. We have 6 forms of social media: YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Twitch. On Twitch, we are at Believe in ISU 2025. And if you want to talk ball with us on Twitter, you can find us for Cody at Matt Campbell, and for me, Tyler at Side Tie Guy. So for Tyler Carter,
Hey, for Cody Rancillo.
this is the Believe in Iowa State podcast. Roll clones, baby.
Go Cyclones.